In this episode, you'll learn the unseen ways that the greatest leaders have built trust throughout history. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping online service based entrepreneurs reduce stress, balance emotions, and grow a profitable business in less time. I'm your host, Justin Igliskis. Let's get into it. In today's episode, you'll discover why paying attention to details is not something you have to try hard to do, how to communicate extremely innocently, yet wisely, and the key to be kind yet strong, unpredictable yet respected. First, trying to pay attention to details is this essence of, oh, I'm going to focus, right? I'm going to concentrate. Now, right, when I do my work sessions, I may set a stopwatch. I may put boundaries and perimeters, right? Shut the door, etc., etc. But the moment that you're trying hard, you're not going to do what you need to do as best as you possibly can. We can look at athletes, whether it be NFL or high school level. If you ask any athlete, they're going to most likely tell you that they're not thinking much when they're in the moment. When they're sprinting, let's say a wide receiver, he's sprinting. Then he snatches the ball. The QB threw him a dime. He's not thinking. He's fully in that moment. And when we are paying attention to details, it's this essence that you almost ingrain into you. Reminds me of muscle memory, right? Because no matter what you're doing, there comes a point where you can see you have integrated the action into your entire being, and then that action gets done so much easier. I can even see it in myself when I go to write. If I try to use too many templates or perimeters, I close off my creativity, and you can feel that. And I'll bring you back to school. And I don't know how many of you guys, bless your hearts, I don't know how many of you guys had to go through the pain, for me, very painful, doing writing prompts. Being told what I had to write about was almost one of the hardest things I could ever do, right? And it's because they limited us to a point where you're forced, right? So paying attention to details, how do you integrate this into your being effortlessly? And that is to see who you are when you're sloppy. So obviously, right, to be sloppy, that's not going to make you money. It's not going to attract good people. It's not going to do anything healthy for your life to be a sloppy character. But to be like, hey, I'm the nerd. I'm super precise. I don't know how much that flows either. I don't think it flows too much, right? When people are trying too hard to be anything. And if we even go into the spirituality, the moment you think you can become enlightened, you're lost because there's nothing to become. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying, yep, you're already enlightened, just stop. No, I'm not saying that either. So, if it was so simple that I could just say step by step by step, do this and you'll get this result in terms of spirituality, this is probably the one field that it doesn't work that way. In business, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. In relationships, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You do need to feel though. And in life, it's that balance of when do I need to reinvent the wheel and when do I not? And the funny part about even in spirituality is there's nothing that you need to invent. It's more so everything you need to unlearn. And I know you've heard that before. And this is the work. This is what we're talking about, right? Try hard, pay attention to details. I'm telling you the complete opposite pretty much. But it's not the complete opposite, right? There's nuance here. You will have to try in life, but you'll get to a point where you've tried so hard that you can't try anymore because you start to learn. And when you start to learn, you see that what you want is magnetically sent away from you. And like the song, the Rolling Stones, you don't get what you want, you will get what you need, right? But if you try to think if you try to think that one of your wants are needs, then you're just in this cesspool of confusion. On to the next. How to communicate extremely innocently yet wisely. And okay, fundamentally, this is playing with your tone, your pitch, your gestures, doing, like you don't just say hi, you say, hey, you look at them you have a facial expression, say, hey, you do it all simultaneously. I think one of my favorite definitions of intuition is the micro processing of millions of bits of information simultaneously. That's something that you can't think about, right? When you think, you cut off the flow, which is your intuition. But the problem with the word intuition is so many people manipulate it, right? They think that their intuition is their desires, and they haven't questioned their thinking deep enough. So, yeah, to communicate extremely innocently yet wisely, you need to be aware of the energy that the person whom you're communicating with is sharing with you, right? So that means that you need to listen, you need to look at them, you need to read their gestures. Cool part is you don't need to think about this at all. If you're confident and you're open and you live healthily, you'll naturally find yourself speaking to people whom are operating at a similar vibration or at a vibration of openness. And when they're open, the universe may have you guys dance together. And it's that simple. So now we're at the key to be kind yet strong, unpredictable yet respected. And really, this means that you are okay being alone. You're okay being alone because when you're alone, that's how you recharge your strength. Now, you could be on a walk with someone and still be alone. Like if you go into the forest and you guys are not like projecting onto each other from your memory, your past, your knowledge, your experiences, and you're just in that forest on a walk, well then you have that space where you're able to recharge. And that's pretty much the essence. You cannot be strong if you don't recharge, right? Let's look at a car battery, right? Now, if your car battery is dead, but it still has strength in it, you can recharge it. Now, sometimes the battery fully dies, you have to buy a new one. But in your body, in your life, you have one body. So let's throw away the option of buying a new body. So that means that when you feel you're disconnected or when your heart's cut off, you got to recharge that connection. And so many people never even get to that place where they're strong enough to recognize that they can't keep going how they're going. Like a lot of humans just get so numbed with like whether it be materialism or arrogance or drugs or fast food or entertainment like the NFL. There's so many different ways that humans fill their minds so that they don't have to pay attention to what they actually are internally. And that's how the strongest people get strong. They are balanced, unpredictable yet respected. Hmm. Kind yet strong. And I won't go long into this. There's a man, Wes Watson, and he's shared so much value, it's insane. But I feel he's the type of man who I know that he's kind in his heart, but it comes off as such a aggressiveness that you can feel that there's still something that hasn't connected for him. And although he's wise, you can feel that things are going to change for him. And I'm not here to predict anything, but it's almost like you can just see, okay, someone is walking their path, but there may be an obstruction. And who am I to judge him? That's not at all what's happening here. I'm just looking at, okay, He's smart, he's intelligent, but his message is he's very aggressive. And who knows? Maybe he needs to be that aggressive guy. But at the same time, I just I just wonder, like, if you're always in one mode, it feels like something's wrong, right? Because a human being is meant to shift, change states of mind. And that doesn't mean you get into a mode where you stop doing the things that keep you healthy. Like Wes is a huge proponent of discipline, consistency, non-negotiables, not succumbing to vices and weakness. And all of that is very fundamental in the spiritual route. So it's like, I'm not at all judging the guy, but fundamentally, if we always show up as the same person all the time, you can feel that you're going against one of the tides, one of God's laws, and that is the only constant is change. No one can step into the same river twice. So, like, even these videos, if you go back and look at my first video years ago, I'm going to keep changing. Like, you can't expect anything else from me. And I don't expect anything else from you as a listener. So, the recap: why paying attention to details is not something you have to try hard to do. Intuition works when you don't want it to. Yeah. How to communicate extremely innocently yet wisely. Being open is through strength. Listening comes first. Now, key to be kind yet strong, unpredictable yet respected. You yourself cannot know what you'll say next. Let it flow. And that's the essence, right? The only constant is change. So I'll leave you with this. And there's only one thing you cannot hide, and that's your vibration. It's compounding throughout time, but at the same moment, the vibration is not about the past. So let that hit home. I thank you guys. Really big hug from me to you for going through this, for listening, for being real and present. Thank you. Now, there'll be a new episode out every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you do want to learn more, click the link in the description. You'll get, first, your free premium 5-minute journaling prompts exercise. Number 2, my new 11-page doc, how to reduce stress and anxiety. Third, the bonus, 2 to 4 new weekly emails. Grab your free gift below. See you soon.